Hey YouTube, what's going on? Chris here. Want to bring you guys a little update on Litecoin. Right now we're at $47.88. We're up 1.14%. We're at the top of the channel that I've had drawn here for a while, and I wanted to get into this, guys. Really dig into Litecoin with you, tell you what my thoughts are, if I think it's going higher, if I think there's going to be a pullback, just some of the things that I'm seeing. So if you guys could like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We're trying for 100 likes on this video. Can't do it without y'all, and you guys have been doing awesome for me, so I'm just very thankful and grateful. And we're going to get through this today, this Litecoin, and you guys just let me know what you're thinking about it. If you feel like we're just going to continue to keep running higher and leading the market, or if we're going to have that pullback, or if it's time for a little bit of a pullback, a little retracement with Litecoin. So let me know, drop it down low, and we'll dig into this, guys. So what I want to start with is something that I want you guys to really start picking up on and noticing, and that's, do you see the difference here? All right, guys, do you see where the price is right in here? So this is around $44, $45. We'll call it right in that range. And look where your RSI is at. Now, do you see that price pushed up and your price is even higher, but your RSI is lower? That means that we're losing strength. Okay, so most likely we're going to be having some type of a pullback. Could it be to this 20 EMA around 45, 43? Absolutely. It could be there, or it could hit the 50, guys, or it could go down to the 100, or maybe we could even fall all the way back down here and lose what we built over here, which is a possibility, and fall back down and test this trend line again before making another move up. You can see we've been working in these channels where we're moving up to the top of them basically, then we're coming back down, making higher highs and higher lows. But it's important for you to pay attention to this here. Whenever you have a price that's higher and the RSI lower, most likely it's going to start pulling back. It's going to start coming back a little bit. Okay, so keep that in mind. You can see what we broke out of here when we had that little bull flag we were looking at. This was the trend line that I had, and we actually broke up above it. Then we couldn't get any higher than around this $48, $49, which it is impressive, guys. Litecoin's made a heck of a run in this trend. Remember, we're looking to identify first this was short term. Now we're going to see if this is an intermediate term trend, then it goes to long term trend. Like right now in the 4 hours, we're up above the 200-day moving average, which is great. And in a minute, we're going to step back and we're going to look at the one-day chart as well, and we're going to pay attention to those moving averages. So next thing I want to draw for you down here that we really need to hold are these lower highs right here. As we keep coming up, we need to hold this as support. I want to see if this is treated like as a concrete wall here, as in terms of support. We've had nice gaps in between, which really means that this trend line could be strong. It's not one of those very steep upsloping trend lines. They're stronger when they're down more like this, and they're not at such a steep angle, guys. So say you draw a trend line, and this isn't right, but just a trend line right up here that's real steep. It has more of a chance of breaking than something that's not near as steep and it's been established for quite a while. This trend line, or this trend back here, switched and started. It reversed around the 14th of December. Right in that range, we've been moving up ever since. So guys are looking at these channels, and a lot of people are seeing this, saying, we're getting a little overextended. There may be a pullback coming. So I want you guys to keep that in mind. There's no need to FOMO right now, especially. I wouldn't go buying in at $48. I would still continue to wait for that pullback. Remember, guys, you're always going to have opportunities. There's going to be pullbacks each time. Look at this really nice run we had here. We had a pullback. We had a nice run here. We had a pullback where we went flat and we moved sideways. Went up again. We had a pullback up again, which we did make a higher high here from the last ones. And we're going to have to see if we come down here and make another higher low, or if we're going to lose that. All right, so now let's back it out to the one-day chart. All right. So on the one day, guys, it's looking like we did get above here, the 200-day moving average. Let's zoom in here and take a look. This could be something very, very special if we can get up above that and keep it. Okay, another trend line we want to draw here on the day that I'm just seeing. I'm going through it like I would by myself, guys. So right there, see, this one is a little steeper though. All right, so keep that in mind, but there's definitely room for us to pull back here, hit this trend line again, and then continue our move up. All right, but let's get into this. Really zoom in close. All right. Okay, so we're up above the 200-day moving average, which Bitcoin has not done that yet. That is great, guys. I'm so excited to see that. So we got up above it, and now we closed up above it yesterday. Remember, I talked about that. We want to see a close up above it, and then we want good follow through. Now we're kind of having that tweezer top at the moment right now, but remember, the close isn't for another, whatever, guys, 9 hours, 8 hours, whatever. But I want to see definitely where we close today. Are we going to fall back underneath this 200-day moving average, that would be a bad sign, guys, that we could continue to go lower, or we're going to stay up above this and treat this as support. If we can treat this as support and continue to move off this, this could be huge for Litecoin, and Litecoin could definitely be leading the market. So keep your eye on that. Second, guys, just want to adjust this right in there. Okay, next thing we want to look at is our Bollinger Band. So we want to see if we're getting overextended. I think it's really important to just go through these indicators. All right, so we're more so at the top here, and that's why we've been kind of talking about that pullback, that there's a potential pullback that could happen, maybe to this 20 EMA or this middle band that we have, still around where I have my alarm, guys. I still have that alarm, and I'm not sitting in terms of trading in a Litecoin position right now. I was still waiting for that pullback. Remember, I talked about it, and I said it, guys. Could it run away from me for the time being? Absolutely, but I'm not going to go chasing anything, especially in a bear market. We've been in a deep bear market, so there's no reason for me to FOMO. Litecoin still has a lot to prove, and I want to see it prove it. And there's always a way to get back in, guys. If this trend is really changing for the long run, you're having these higher highs and higher lows, you just wait till a good spot when you believe that higher low is coming back in, and then you jump back in on there, like on that trend line, and you ride it back up and you get in. So there's really no reason to FOMO. Don't FOMO, especially when we're at the top of the Bollinger Bands right here. You can see where we had this contraction, and then we exploded up, and that was that move up. But there's a lot of indicators saying that, you know, maybe we wouldn't continue to move up. You can even see it on the 1 day here, guys. Your price is at 46 right here. You can see your RSI was around 78, and then the price went up to these tweezer tops up there at around $48, and the RSI is lower. So most likely we're going to be having a pullback. First, let's check this 20 or 200-day moving average is where I'm going to be looking at first, and then it's going to be down around this 20 EMA in this middle band. Next thing, let's take a look at the MACD. And guys, this is just how I go through it. Like I said, I'll grab a notepad and I'll say, all right, bullish indicators, bearish indicators, neutral indicators. What are the candles looking like? All these different types of things. Where's the RSI? Are we overextended? That's the type of stuff that I like to get into before I go making a trade. And like I said, I am not going to chase trades anymore. If Litecoin ran away, then that's okay. I'll get it on a pullback. That's always what you have to remember. There's always going to be a pullback. We've seen it throughout this market. You're not going to wake up and Litecoin's going to be at $200 tomorrow. It's a progression. Will it get up above that? I have no doubt in my mind that down the road it definitely will. It's been there before. But you have to continue to see these stair steps, these higher highs and higher lows. And then sometimes you'll get in these equilibrium patterns as well. So keep that in mind. But the MACD, this histogram started to fall. It looked like we were coming back down, and then we started to move back up just a little bit. But I would really still pay very close attention to this right now. We're just getting a little overextended, guys, on a lot of things. Like I said, this RSI, this divergence here, that's something that you want to pay attention to. Whenever you see price going up and the relative strength going down, that should definitely raise a red flag for you. But MACD, you know, we came down, came close to this signal line, then we bounced back up. So that is a good thing. That's staying a little bit stronger. Remember, this is a lagging indicator here. There's a lot of lagging indicators, but this is one that's lagging. So this is more so probably showing us this move that just took place. Now we're getting the data that's coming in, you know, for this little move right now. So we're going to have to keep that in mind, and we're going to have to pay attention to these candles. Are we going to close with a tweezer top rejection? That's a good possibility that we could have that for today. Now I just want to do the Eastern technique with you guys, where we're just specifically going to look at candle formations and candles and what we've seen and what I was really excited about. So when we're trying to identify these trends, what you're seeing here are lower highs that have been coming in. Okay, so right here, just lower highs consistently. Even this one from here to here is still a lower high on the macro term, guys, and that's what I want you to pay attention to, that we're still having lower highs in the macro. Yes, we have changed the trend on the short term here. Do you see how we went from lower highs and lower lows to higher highs and higher lows, right? And then remember, draw that trend line right here, and we'll just go off the wicks, make it a little easier. So right in there, this is the trend line that we want to see hold. For us to continue to go lower, we would have to break this trend line, close below it with significant volume, and that would show me that maybe this is falling back down. We could try a double bottom around that $22 or so, but we got a lot of strong support, guys. This is a strong support area around this $30 or so. That's very strong. We're going to have support right here around that $39, $40 where we had this doji candle, like the spinning top doji candle, and then we had an inverted hammer, and then we just continued to move up from there, which has been good. And today, I mean, you can see we're still up above that. If we closed there, yes, on the tweezers, we would have a tweezer top in terms of the price where we couldn't get up above that, but we would have a higher close than right here. You always got to pay attention to the closes of the candles. You know, that's some good volume that came in yesterday for Litecoin. And guys, it's at, you know, $48.11. That is something to be proud of from 22. It's really made a nice run here. But I just don't want anybody to get caught, you know, buying when there potentially could be a pullback. So let's zoom out now and just take a look at this. Do you see these lower highs, guys? And this is what we're talking about here, here. So this would still qualify. So for us to get rid of that lower high scenario, we would need to get up above that $56 or so, come back up above that, and then have that pullback and treat that as support and blast off up above that. But Litecoin being up above this 200-day moving average, guys, that's a big deal. And I don't want anyone to underestimate that. And it looks like we almost have this 20 EMA coming up here wanting to cross where it would be that golden cross over the 200-day moving average, which would be amazing as well. So these are just my thoughts and takes on it, guys. Pay very close attention. Keep your eyes on the market the best you can, and I'll continue to try to get you guys out some videos. But leave it down low if you like what we do here. Like, subscribe, and know we're moving for Litecoin. It's exciting, up above the 200-day moving average. So I'll talk to you later, guys. God bless.